Hey YouTube, 3D Printed Life here, and today I'm going to show off version 2.1 of the Eclips3D2. As you can see, the hot end looks different. Well, the hot end mount, all that stuff. The rest of it's pretty much unchanged, and that's because version 2.1 brought two major changes. The first being this whole extruder assembly completely redesigned, basically from the ground up, so it is now much better and obviously dual cooling. And the second change was price reductions and to save cost on the final build, which ideally you shouldn't be able to see any of those changes, and you really can't, so that's a good thing. I was able to get the price of the printer down about $75, I believe. Well, that's before I had to change the linear rails. Now that I have to use higher quality linear rails, it pretty much offsets most of the savings, but it is still a bit cheaper. However, if you did want to go with cheaper linear rails, it could be $100 cheaper than before, which is good. But the main reason is this guy and this new extruder assembly. So as you can see, first of the main difference is the dual cooling fans, and obviously that's going to be much better cooling. Now I'm stupid and I threw out my demo pieces. I did originally have this fan bracket printed with a single one fan configuration, of course, that's all I had to print with. And there was a lot of drooping on the overhangs, it just didn't look very pretty. Then I reprinted it with the version 2.1 with the dual fans, and it came out much nicer, and that's the one that's currently on here. However, I can show off this little Marvin I printed with the new dual fans, and as you can see, it came out very nicely, nice and sharp overhangs. The bottom looks really good. The only place it suffered a little was on the back. There's that little flat spot. But I did print this model way faster than I should have, so that's really my fault more than the actual printer itself. But the top there, as you can see, that's very crisp and it looks nice and no stringing or anything. So yes, the dual fans work, and they work amazingly. And I mean, if you look at this design, I mean, this new hot end is huge. You're probably like, okay, how much x-axis did you lose? How much y-axis did you lose? Nothing. Believe it or not, it just barely clears the belt on this side. It clears by quite a bit on this side. Coming up front, it clears this pulley just barely. Clears this one by a little bit more, and of course the back it clears just fine. Additionally, it moves the hot end up about 2 millimeters, which means you get 2 additional millimeters of z-axis travel, which isn't huge. But my point is, it actually gained print volume by doing this change rather than losing anything. The only other thing I had to change about the printer design to make this work was the y-axis end stop under here. So as you can see, now it is tilted back, and that is basically just to allow this fan some little extra breathing room so that it can home properly. But yeah, so that's really the only change I had to make in order to get this dual cooling upgrade to work. Pretty crazy, and when I first thought of the idea, I was like, there's no way this is going to work. This thing is huge. The fans are like so wide, how am I going to make that fit? And it fits. So awesome. Yes. So yes, if you did build this printer on your own, I would definitely recommend you find a way to get this upgrade done. It does require machining 2 new parts of this new extruder plate, which is actually much easier to use now because the hot end will simply slide on. This machined piece goes on top, the printed fan bracket goes on the bottom, and then 2 bolts go through to secure it in place. So much simpler than it used to be, and it is just as sturdy. Now there's only 2 bolts, and you don't have to go from underneath and deal with the fan duct getting in the way and that stupid separate piece that held it all on and all that stupid stuff. Now it's much easier now. It's just 2 bolts, and then you pop it up and slide it out. But additionally, the main reason I would recommend upgrading is, of course, the fans, because they work so much better. It is like night and day the difference between the single and the dual fans. So yeah, I mean, even if you have your own random 3D printer, I definitely recommend you upgrade your cooling if you print with a lot of PLA. With ABS and other stuff, it shouldn't matter quite as much, but PLA for sure, upgrade your cooling as much as you can. So that's pretty much it for this video. For any of you who have ordered a version 2.1 pre-order kit or the upgrade kit for version 2 to 2.1, those will be shipping soon. The upgrade kits will be shipping hopefully tomorrow if I post this today on Tuesday. And the pre-orders should be shipping in about 2 weeks now, give or take. I'm just waiting on a few more parts. I got to get some stuff cut, and then it's mostly just boxing everything up and shipping it out. But yeah, so times are coming up soon, so lots of good stuff happening, especially if you order a printer from me. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will catch you guys later.